Love and Faith is on Global Crown TV. You can check it out. Now, it talks about a very wicked step mother and daughter who maltreated their, step sister who was blind despite the fact that she was the breadwinner of the family. Even when a helper came and wanted to give her sight back, this wicked stepmom and auntie refused until they set up a plan and tried to destroy the relationship their stepdaughter was having with this God fearing person who came into their life. So yeah, that's what faith and love is all about. Let's talk about the characters. Let me start with Tommy Roland. Now, he was the proper rich guy who came in trying to help. He doesn't really have a fan base on YouTube space, but he also is quite a decent actor, which obviously his good looks and his well trimmed hair gives him that good looking person as a character in movies. So yeah, he's a pretty decent actor. Now, talking about his acting, I don't know if it's a director or it is just him. He was supposed to be very grounded. He's a rich person he was trying to help, but he was so soft. I don't why was his character he was as if he was scared of the person he was falling in love with, or he was scared of the woman he was trying to help. I mean, that's the step mother and then the wicked daughter, as if he was scared. So I didn't understand his character when it comes to how he was interacting with the woman and then the daughter. It was as if he was just scared. I wasn't no, but when he goes home, he is very mean to the sister and so strong-headed towards the sister. So what was that? Is it because he wanted to get married to them? So he was, you know, being the being the soft in-law or whatever. I just didn't like that part of his acting. That's what I'm just saying. But yeah, with Tommy, he's just like I said, he's a very decent actor. And then also the scenes where he was gifting Chinenye, I'm like, why is this guy doing as if he's just scared? Basically, the acting towards the family he was trying to help, he was doing as if he was scared of them, and that was something I was not really, cool with that kind of script writing or emotion kind of display. I really did not find that really quite interesting. Basically, then let's talk about Chinene. I mean, she is also one of the main characters in the movie, and with her, she's a very solid actress. I don't know, she doesn't really have fan base or people rooting for her like that, but she's also a very very ground solid actress. I've seen her movie that is on Prime, and she did a very amazing job on that. So since then, I've been respecting how she puts out her best foot for when it comes to her movie. So I really do love how she did here. The blindness that she was acting was really cool. The only thing that I want directors, Nollywood directors or Nollywood producers to stop, or script writers, I don't know who I should call out on this, is when a character is disabled, that does not mean they do not have the other senses working, especially sense to taste or sense to movement or something. When they are eating, they know where their mouth is. I don't understand why they make disabled people, especially blind characters in movie, to be doing as if they don't know where their mouth is. I don't understand. Why do they keep? Because there was a scene Chinele was doing as if she can't feed herself, and I'm like, why was that the case in here? Why is it like that? No, 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 no. Everything about her character just wash it down the drain because of particular scene like that. No. And then also when she was begging for alms, I don't know. This is another lazy, acting. I don't know why she's always in one space as if it's her job. Yeah, which obviously is her job. Begging for alms, yes. But why is she? It's like an office where she's always there. I know we've seen it happens in real life though, because sometimes you pass a certain route and you see these aboki people begging, and they that this particular person is also always going to be there, which obviously is true. But when a person is not aboki, as this character displayed, they move around. So I was expecting, them to move around, and that did not happen. So that was a little bit. I wasn't finding that funny either. But Chinenye is a very fantastic actress, especially the last scene where they came to beg, and she was like, at a point I was thinking, okay, this scene is going to be predictable where she takes them in. Mm-mm. I love how she was well dressed, and her costume and makeup was so on point in that last scene. That was something that was really cool with her character wise. And I love her natural hair as well. Yeah, you know, that was a good touch. She didn't do all back all the time. All back is we know that when it comes to character like this, all they do is they have their all back braid on, and pretty much depicting poor character. I love that she was able to have or show her natural hair throughout the scenes that she was poor in. That was really cool. Then we talk about the wicked stepmom and the daughter. I'm combining the two of them because I enjoyed their character so much. But at a point, I was not understanding the mother. You know, I was not understanding why the mother was not delivering her line. She was making mistakes in her sentences, which I can overlook that, but I'm reviewing, so that is something I noticed. So, producer, is he Chi Uchechi Kereke, or I mean, you as a producer, you know who I'm talking about. So, see to it that your characters or your actors are not making mistakes with their lines, because the woman was doing a lot of them as well, but she was picking it up anyway, which obviously shows how professional she is. And then also the lady that is a princess gift, I don't know if that's her name, if I'm not mistaken, the daughter, the wicked stepdaughter, she was also in character. It's as if she was waiting to act a character like this. She did so well with it. I like it so much. The only thing that I did not like is how is their costume, especially the wicked step sister. Her costume in this movie is confusing. Is she is she supposed to be looking far better than the one begging for alms? But she wasn't, so I didn't understand. I mean, their mother keep complaining of no money, no money, no money, but I wasn't really seeing that as well. So, yep, that was something that I had to also take notice. Then we talk about Rachel. Rachel is the sister to Tony Roland. That was the character she played here. I think her character was supporting her so that Tommy will have somebody he can be talking to, because we didn't see his office, we didn't see any friend aside the sister in this movie. So basically, that's what it is. She was just like the way we have a main character and then we have supporting cast as a friend or relative. That was the character she was playing. So she was pretty decent, but I really love how she was. I actually love her makeup and costume in this movie. She, the brother is rich. They are from rich family, so she looked the part when it comes to costume, makeup, and hair. That was pretty decent as well. In general, the movie is basic. Nothing serious was happening in this movie. The transition from how a wicked step parent treats their stepdaughter, and their stepdaughter who suffers in the family gets helped outside of her home, basically. So I mean, if it's a pretty decent movie, guys, nothing serious was happening here. So if you interested in watching, you can go ahead and watch it. Rating it, I'm going to give it 4 over 10 because it's pretty decent movie. I'll see you all in the next video.